Hello and welcome to Devlog number 2, which we're calling it number 2, but a lot of false starts, just figuring out what I actually want to do with these devlogs. But yeah, loosening up a bit, my eyes have been opened to the direction I'm going in. So where we left off in the first devlog is we were trying to make a generative module-based structure connection system. So what happened with that is it kind of fizzled out, wasn't reaching the deadlines, and kind of faded from relevance. I threw everything I had at it, cerebral-wise. Just the act of logically attacking something really opens up pathways in your mind. It's not the outcome I was shooting for, but it was worth doing from the information I gathered from it. And I'll go ahead and explain the higher level things anyway. For this project, I was forcing myself to do it, almost against my will, kind of. Which works in some cases, like if you have a deadline and you're working for somebody. But when you're working for yourself, it's really just detrimental, because the whole reason you're doing it is because you like doing it. If you're forcing yourself to do it, then most of the point kind of flies out the window. Being forced to make a project doesn't kill a project, that comes from something else. In this particular instance, it's because it was a fenced-off mechanic, kind of its own self-contained system, isolated from other aspects. And it was stemming off the mantra that I should be creating proxies of models and game mechanics. As in make objects and systems low detail to keep them manageable. And I've been under the impression where I can just make a single mechanic and branch off the rest from that one. Since that's what I've been doing with models, where I can make one and then just make another one to give it a sense of purpose. Which a lot of games, that's what they do. They take one mechanic and they build around it. Which I have come to the conclusion that that will not work for my game because there's a lot of different mechanics that are kind of interplaying with each other. More of a holistic system of mechanics, as it were, and isolating one system from it would change the gameplay dramatically. And also that the aesthetic of the game is actually very much entwined with the mechanics of the game, as it currently stands. Because the mechanics aren't really decided beforehand, the object is made and then decided afterwards. So that was a primary roadblock that was hit with this project, because I got split in so many different directions with decision paralysis because I could not plan it from a top-down view, as a bottom-to-the-top sort of person. So all of this means the art can't support the code. So the next question was, can the code support the art? Which is the gear I switched into. So here it is. It kind of started off as a stress doodle while I was working on that project, but it evolved to effectively replace the project. And I'm looking to push it as far as possible to prove that the engine can support stuff like this. Because I have quite a few of these models piling up, and I kind of left them unfinished just from lack of confidence, or something like that. But that is no longer a problem. So if I were to pick one, I could actually finish it without all the drama and the streams and all that stuff, as in the modeling streams that I started as some way to boost confidence. But before I start finishing these models, I see there's some other things that have to happen first. That I have to become more cognitive in the decisions I make. Because the vast majority of the things I've made so far have just been automatic. Primarily the subconscious at work. I have to think about things from the top down. And think about the actual world and how it works. And not from a strictly mechanical point of view. Which will require kind of a big change in mindset. So yeah, that's the current state of things. I'll continue on with these formulations, up to the point where things actually start moving along, where I'll be working more than I can talk. Which, on a related note, I'm planning on going to college this year. For game design and art for it, 2-year thing. Mostly just to break out of the shell and find peers, because I think I've been isolated and alienated long enough. I'm not exactly sure how much it'll interfere with Zio in a direct sense, but indirectly it'll be good for it. So yeah, I'll keep up the devlogs, for people that are interested in art and logic, which for people that are interested in playing the game, I'm sorry to say it's going to be a bit longer, but I will never give up on it. And who knows, maybe the MVP will happen sooner than I expect. So that's all for now. I may make some more modeling videos just for fun, and wish you luck on your own endeavors.